Short and tall athletes always seem to have a competitive edge over each other. But when it comes to building muscle, does height really matter? Everyone wants to prove they're the best, but who truly has the upper hand? In this video, we're putting the debate to the test, with a head-to-head showdown between these two groups of athletes. People often say shorter guys have it easier because they appear more muscular or can fill out their frames more quickly. Tall guys, you probably know the drill. You start off looking pretty skinny with not much muscle mass. You hit the gym and start building some muscle, but after a while, you look in the mirror and, despite gaining weight from muscle, you don't seem that much bigger. Meanwhile, your shorter friends look more muscular and well-built. This makes you wonder if short guys have an advantage. The truth is that short guys often do look more muscular and built when they start lifting. Take any group of friends who begin lifting together, and you'll see the shorter ones usually look more developed. So, do short guys really build muscle more easily? Not exactly. Height doesn't directly affect how easily someone can build muscle. The idea that shorter men build muscle faster is all about how muscle mass is distributed over a smaller surface area. Shorter people have less space to fill out to look muscular, which can make it seem like they build muscle more quickly. Density is calculated by dividing mass by volume. When two people have the same mass but different volumes, the one with the smaller volume is denser. Tall people have greater volume because their bones take up more space. So, if two men weigh 160 pounds or 72.7 kg, but one is 5'9", 175 centimeters, and the other is 6'2", 188 centimeters, the taller guy will have a lower density and look thinner. On the other hand, the shorter guy will look thicker and more muscular. On average, men have similar muscle building abilities, but if you're shorter, every gram of muscle you gain has a bigger impact on your overall thickness and density. Imagine putting 100 milliliters of liquid into two bottles, one with a 1 liter capacity and the other with a 1.5 liter capacity. The smaller bottle would fill up more quickly. To reach the same level in the bigger bottle, you'd need to add more liquid. Building muscle works the same way. Since our bodies can only produce so much muscle in a certain amount of time, shorter guys often see visual results faster. Well, you may be thinking, aren't tall people supposed to have more testosterone? Actually, growth hormone from the pituitary gland has a bigger impact on height than testosterone. Look at women, for example. Some women reach impressive heights even though they produce less testosterone than men. Women are generally shorter than men not because of a lack of testosterone, but because estrogen causes their growth plates to close earlier. So, being tall isn't necessarily a sign of high testosterone. In fact, it could indicate lower testosterone levels. A study from 1976 even used testosterone treatment to limit the growth of boys who are genetically predisposed to being very tall. In that study, 29 boys with an average predicted height of 6'6" or 198 centimeters were treated with testosterone for 1.2 years. The result? Their bone maturation sped up by 1.8 years, and the average height was reduced by 5.4 centimeters. After stopping the treatment, the boys' natural testosterone production recovered within 1.5 years, sometimes longer. The takeaway? Testosterone can actually be used to decrease height. Since synthetic testosterone mimics the natural testosterone produced by the body, it suggests that some shorter guys might have naturally higher testosterone levels, and those guys could have an even easier time building a dense, muscular physique. Ever wonder why most professional bodybuilders are under 6 foot 2 inches tall, if not shorter? Well, it all comes down to the challenge of packing enough muscle onto a taller frame. Tall bodybuilders like Greg Kovacs, standing at 6'4" and weighing over 330 pounds in competition shape and well over 400 pounds in the off-season, are rare and extreme examples. Maintaining such immense muscle mass requires enormous amounts of food, drugs, and more. A tall bodybuilder's body has to work significantly harder to process everything it's given. Sure, tall bodybuilders have the advantage of height, but their internal organs aren't necessarily more robust than those of the shorter competitors. The toll, pain, discomfort, sacrifices, and risks is often too high. In the world of bodybuilding, it's clear. It's not exactly a game for tall men. Shorter bodybuilders have a bit of an advantage when it comes to muscle building. Since they don't need to pack on as much mass, they can get by with smaller doses of supplements and eat less compared to their larger counterparts. This means their bodies undergo less stress, potentially leading to longer and healthier careers in the sport. But it's not just about mass, it's also about muscle belly length. The length of your muscles play a huge role in how much they grow, known as hypertrophy. Longer muscles have more muscle fibers to work with, so they can potentially grow larger. However, if you're genetically predisposed to have shorter muscle bellies and long tendons in certain areas, filling out those spots can be incredibly challenging, if not impossible. This issue commonly affects individuals with long limbs, though not exclusive to tall people. Take the legendary powerlifter Ed Cohen, for instance. He's known for his gorilla look with long arms and short legs. The areas most affected by the muscle belly length disparity are often the calves and forearms. For tall individuals, especially those with shorter muscle bellies, building these areas can be a real struggle. Sometimes it feels like there's almost nothing to build when half the space between your joints is filled with tendons. So, while tall bodybuilders might have stature on their side, those with shorter muscle bellies face unique challenges that can limit their ability to fill out their frames with muscle. Let's break down how bones and genetics play a crucial role in muscle development. First off, bones with a larger diameter naturally demand more muscle to function effectively. This means folks with thicker skeletons tend to carry more muscle mass almost effortlessly. Muscle that stems from a robust bone structure is incredibly resilient, so it's not easily shed. Only severe illness, starvation, or extreme old age can really make a dent in that type of muscle mass. Take my grandfather, for example. He had a hefty skeleton and remained quite robust well into his late 60s and 70s, mainly because of his bones. Sure, he did physical labor on weekends, but he wasn't in sports as far as I know. Women with large frames, like those you might spot on a basketball or volleyball game, also exemplify this bone-muscle connection. Their tall stature and thick frames naturally support a solid amount of muscle. But the thing is, height doesn't automatically mean a thick frame. Many tall guys are built more like gazelles, long and lean bones. On the flip side, some shorter men boast impressively thick rhino frames. So what's the ultimate genetic combo for packing on muscle naturally? Men of average height with a sturdy bone structure and elongated muscle bellies have the best shot at substantial growth. With adequate nutrition, they can often outmuscle even the average guy who hits the gym regularly. Conversely, tall folks with slender bones and shorter muscle bellies face an uphill battle. They often struggle to fill out and see minimal results on our efforts in the weight room. However, despite appearing less muscular with the same amount of muscle mass compared to shorter individuals, tall people actually have a significant advantage when it comes to gaining muscle. Their larger frame provides more space to pack on muscle, which means they have a greater potential for muscle growth. So, while tall folks might not look as muscular at first glance, their natural advantages in muscle building potential, agility, and reach make them formidable competitors in various sports and activities. However, the world is full of top-level athletes from all heights and builds, proving that anyone can achieve greatness. Whether you're tall, short, or of average height, if you put your heart and soul into what you do, nothing can stop you from reaching your goals. Your mind is the only limitation. Remember that. Embrace your unique attributes, stay dedicated, and push beyond your perceived limits. Success is within your reach, and with unwavering determination, you can overcome any obstacle. Keep striving, stay focused, and let your passion drive you forward. If you want to achieve a Greek god physique naturally, make sure you watch our video series where we rank the best and worst exercises for muscle building.